Hi, Mama. Welcome back to Life's a Mom. I'm so glad you're here with me today. So, let me ask you, have you ever scrolled through Pinterest or Instagram and thought, wow, every other mom has it together but me? Because suddenly it looks like moms everywhere are baking like gluten free dinosaur pancakes or, decorating color coded playrooms and, throwing birthday parties that could honestly rival a wedding reception. Meanwhile, you're probably looking around your house like, okay, where's the other sock? Wait, why is there applesauce on the wall? And how did I forget it was pajama day at school again? That's exactly what I want to talk about today, the Pinterest mom versus the real mom. And here's the twist, I'm going to be honest with you. I am a Pinterest mom, and I love it. I love the crafts, the balloon arches, the little matching outfits, the themed moments. It just makes me happy to make things beautiful. But I'm also very much a real mom because behind every balloon arch is, me sweating at midnight, running around trying to make sure everything is perfect and everyone's doing what they have to do, trying not to faint, you know, from running everywhere. And behind the cute cookies is the stress of like calling the baker back and forth and making sure it's perfect because I have anxiety. Um, and you know what? Behind every matching outfit photo is at least one child crying, saying they hate what I picked. So, today's conversation is about expectations, reality, and finding the balance. We're going to laugh about the pressure, share some fails, and most importantly, remind ourselves that no matter which mom we feel like we are on any given day, the love that we show our kids is ultimately what matters at the end of the day. So, let's start by painting the picture. The Pinterest mom has perfectly packed bento boxes, fruit cut into shape, little compartments, everything color coordinated. Her playroom, it looks like the container store exploded in the best way possible. Labels, bins, bookshelves, all of that. She's throwing birthday parties with balloon arches taller than me, dessert tables that belong in the magazine, and custom cookies that look too perfect to eat. Um, and then there are the family photos, like the ones the golden hour on the beach, everyone's frolicking, hair blowing just right, kids actually smiling. And here's where I'll out myself. That's me sometimes. I really do love planning those things. Pinterest projects and parties spark joy for me. And that's okay. Like, I'm not ashamed of it because it's how I express myself. And I'm able to do all this because of all the help that I have. And I have an amazing nanny who enjoys these things too. So it works hand in hand. But here's the key, like, even though I enjoy doing those things, I'm not immune to the chaos behind them. Like, what people don't see is that, while the photo looks perfect, one kid is screaming 10 minutes before. Like, that's something I can't help. Or maybe the kitchen, looks a little crazy because we were rushing. And while the party might look curated, I was probably having a panic attack the night before because Amazon lost the order of something, that I needed. So, yes, I am a Pinterest mom, but I'm also 100% a real mom. So, the thing about Pinterest moms, online especially, is that they're often just a highlighted reel. Social media shows us the beautiful 1%, but not the messy 99%. You see the cake, not the meltdown in the aisle 3 at Publix when the sprinkles were sold out. You see the balloon arch, not all the panic attacks that happened the night before. And once I heard a therapist say something that stuck with me. And I don't really post photo shoots all the time unless it's like my pregnancy, like things like that I want to look back on. And sometimes I've seen like Pinterest moms, or they're not even Pinterest moms, they're just moms that do photo shoots like all the time, for every little thing. And a therapist and I were kind of talking about it, because I used to post a lot when I was unhappy. And now that I'm super happy and I'm in a good place, I don't even feel the need to post as much. Unless it's like for my mom group, because I post like the photos of the group, and kind of get my name out there and everything like that, which by the way, a lot of amazing things are coming up and I'm so excited. But anyways, a therapist said to me that sometimes when families are constantly scheduling photo shoots or posting perfectly curated pictures, it can actually be a way of compensating. Like, not in a negative way, but in a human way. Like, holding onto joy or control in a life that feels chaotic, or maybe they're just unhappy and they're trying to feel happy by doing these photos and maybe showing people like, "Hey, we're happy." And that really resonated with me because I realized that for me, all the Pinteresty stuff isn't about being perfect. I think it's about finding a way to create beauty and fun in the middle of the messy reality. It's my outlet. Like I enjoy doing projects and especially with my mom group, like I have a lot of events. I host a lot of things at my house, like the pajamas and prosecco was at my house. Things like that. Like I'm having a Halloween party come up. I'm having bubbles and uh music at my house. Someone's coming to sing music for the kids and I host other things in the group and other moms host things, which is really nice, but like it's I don't know, for me it like fills my cup doing things like that. Um so listen, let's talk about the real mom, okay? The real mom is serving chicken nuggets for dinner and calling it a win. The real mom forgets Spirit Day and sends her kid into pajama pants because, hey, at least it's a spirit, right? The real mom hides in the bathroom for 5 minutes scrolling TikTok just to breathe. And yet, the real mom is also the one who kisses the scraped knees, stays up through the fevers, rocks the baby at 2 a.m., and then wakes up the next morning to do it again. And talking about this also reminds me like, there's also mom guilt in there. Like even if you are a mom like me, and there's many moms like me in the community that I live in, they're stay-at-home moms who have full-time help, cleaners, chefs, all of that. And they still feel guilty. So it doesn't take away from the guilt, or like when I had my baby nurse and she was waking up with my baby, at first, I was, like, really guilty. I'm like, "Should I be the one doing this?" But I'm like, "No, I'm getting the sleep I need to help my baby." You know what I'm saying? So never feel guilty. If you're a mom out there like myself who has all this help, please do not feel guilty and don't let another mom put you down and make you feel guilty, especially if she's a mom who doesn't have that help. And though we do feel for her and we can even help her, you have to understand that sometimes it comes from a different place. But that's a whole nother topic. Um so now I want to pause here and acknowledge something important. I know that, again, my reality is different from a lot of moms. Like I said, I do have help with the kids, with the house, and I'm really grateful for that. But even with the help, motherhood is still hard. The meltdowns still happen. The chaos still finds me. The self doubt still creeps in. And because I know the support I have, I want to say this clearly. I have so much respect for the moms doing this with little or no help. The working moms, the single moms, the moms juggling multiple jobs, the moms running from school drop off to their careers, to bedtime routines, all on their own, to the moms who are having marriage issues or are unhappy and trying to just keep everything together. That is incredible strength, and I see you. So, whether you have help or you don't, whether you're a home full time or working outside of the home, the truth is we're all carrying loads that are heavy in different ways. And none of us should feel like none of us should feel like our hard is invalid because it looks different from someone else's. Um, so, here's where it gets tricky. Comparisons, okay? Because when we're constantly seeing the Pinterest mom version of motherhood, we start to think like, I should do more, or I should be crafting, I should be baking from scratch, I should be making chore charts. And when we don't, we feel guilty. That mom guilt is relentless. But here is the truth. Your kids don't care if their sandwich is cut into a star shape at the end of the day. I feel like I do it for myself, I swear. Or, my nanny will like in the morning when she comes and wakes up my son, she'll make him like pancakes with a smiley face and like cute little stars. And like he's like, whatever, but she enjoys it. So whatever, it's fine. Um, and they don't care if it's that or if you just slapped between two slices of bread, if you just cut, cheese like that. They don't care if you bought the birthday cake from Publix instead of baking it or bought it from a specific baker. They care that you sat with them. They care that you hugged them when they were sad. They care that you showed up. So even though I have all this help, I show up for my kids. I am there. There's different types of moms. There are moms that, their kids are with their nannies and they just go shop all day. And that's fine. There are moms that will never leave their kid with the nanny. They look at me like I have 10 heads. But again, there should be no judgment. Every mom has to do what's best for her. And every mom needs to feel good about her decisions and never let anything or anyone make her feel otherwise. So, with that being said, comparison steals that joy. It tricks us into believing that we are not enough. When in reality, what our kids need most is us, not perfection. So, how do we find balance between Pinterest mom and real mom? Because I know I have many different moms listening. So number one, laugh at the fails. When the cupcake collapse or the craft looks like a crime scene, laugh. Your kids will remember the fun, not the outcome. Also, pick your priorities. Maybe you love cooking. Maybe you don't. Maybe you love holiday decorations. Maybe you'd rather skip them and have a dance party in the kitchen. You don't have to do everything, just the things that bring you joy. Also, don't hide the chaos. Like, talk about it, share it, because when we let other moms see the messy parts, they feel less alone. Obviously, talk to someone that you trust and you don't have to worry about feeling off afterwards. Sometimes, do you ever talk to someone and then after the conversation, you tell yourself, damn, I probably overshared and you don't feel good about it? So, if you know that that's a person you're going to feel that way with, don't share with them, of course, because you don't want to hurt yourself. But, there are those people where after you talk to them, it's like a fresh breath of air. Like you just have a good conversation. You know that like they truly love and care for you. They're not just taking it as a form of gossip to go, whatever. So really like decide who, you're going to share these things with. But it's good to talk about it. It's not good to hold it in. Like don't hide it. It's okay. As long as you feel comfortable sharing it with, that specific mom. So for me, I found that I can love being a Pinterest mom, the parties, the projects, the photo shoots, though I don't really do that many photo shoots. Like I did one for my maternity and then the newborn. I'm not doing a 6-month one. Like I have photos on my phone. Like I don't care to post it, but that's because I feel like I'm genuinely happy now. Whereas before I wasn't. I was always making the next photo shoot and this, and I have to, and I remember I was struggling from postpartum depression and anxiety, but like it was me compensating. But now that I'm finally in a good place, I don't feel the need to do that. So, for me, the photo shoot is more about like milestones, but like not every holiday or something like that. So, like, pregnancies, newborn stage. I don't know, I thought my husband's like, "Should we do the cake smash?" Because we did it for Owen. Because then Owen, when they get older, Liam might say, "Oh, you did a cake smash for Owen, but not for me." But I was like, "I don't know, we'll see." But I'm doing, like, a branding photo shoot, so things like that that are helping my brand. Um, and I love doing that, because I'm always changing, and now that I mentioned how I'm on Ozempic, like, I've lost weight, I feel good, things are fitting me, and I feel so confident, and it shows, and I feel it radiating through me, and people have told me, like, "Oh my god, I love your energy," and I didn't feel that way when I was depressed. So, like I said, you do what's good for you, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So, okay, here's the takeaway, mama. You don't have to choose between being the Pinterest mom or the real mom. You are both. Some days you'll have it all together with themed snacks and matching outfits, and other days you'll be in survival mode with chicken nuggets and mismatched socks. And some moms don't care to be a Pinterest moms, and that's cool too. You don't have to be a Pinterest mom. Some moms do care about just being a Pinterest mom. Hey, that's cool too. There is nothing wrong with anything as long as you're feeling happy and that your cup is being filled. And both versions are enough. Both versions are worthy. Both versions are what your kids will remember. Not the perfection, but the love. And like it's funny because as your kids get older, you see how they mimic you. And I spoke about this on the episode for last week. And like he'll come up to me and squish my face and say, "I love you, mommy. You're so beautiful." And I'm like, oh, but I've taught him that because I talk to him like that. My husband, kisses him all over. So he does that as well. But that's what they're gonna remember. So remember that next time you're feeling down about not being picture perfect or comparing yourself to another mom's highlight reel. And remember, that's just 1% of their life. You don't know what they're going through behind closed doors if they're fighting with their partner, if they're having financial issues, if they're depressed, they're sad, because people that are depressed will seem like the happiest, especially on social media. So don't ever compare yourself, okay, mama? Please, please, please. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope this made you laugh, nod along, and maybe even release a little bit of that mom guilt. If you love this episode, share it with a mom friend who needs the reminder that she is doing enough. And tag me on Instagram. It's at momdates underscore and underscore playdates with your funniest Pinterest mom versus real mom story. I would love to see them. Anyways, thanks for being here. Take care of you, and I'll meet you back here next week on Life's a Mom.